Hello, recon 87 and welcome back to Combat Mission Cold War. We are continuing with the Czechmate scenario. We're taking elements of the 18th Russian Motor Rifle Division and we are pressing against the US forces holding the Czechoslovakian border. And we are just about getting to a crunch point where we drew our best to take out what has been part of the bane of our existence. There's been a lot of it in this scenario, and that's taking out this cavalry fighting vehicles. It's a Bradley with extra ATGMs, which has been sat upon a hill and merrily causing us great harm as we try and advance our armoured elements. So it has been about 10 days or so in real life since I last picked up scenario, which is never great to take such a prolonged break, because you kind of forget what you're up to. But by and large, we are pushing with our infantry forces through these woods just to kind of clear out the remnants of the US forces and try and secure this area to be safe for our armoured teams. We continue to maintain our anti-tank assets up on this ridge, just so we can take out any US armour that we do see. And we've cleared this kind of general area of all their assets. We're down to 2 recoilless rifle teams, with a reasonable amount of ammo, and 1 ATGM with 1 missile, and that is it. That's our last ATGM on the map. We don't even have any ammo in our trucks because one of our resupplies both our resupplies got blown up, both here and further back for our long range one. That was a few episodes ago. Meanwhile, on our left flank, we're not really pushing all these. This has gone badly on this flank, and we're a bit of a state. So we're really just going to ideally try and take out that US team with what we've got there, and then just hold the line. But yes, the big question will be whether our tanks here are able to essentially pop up along this ridgeline and take out that Bradley before they themselves get taken out. And that is what we are going to be trying in this episode. It will probably be not this minute but next minute, so let them get in their final positions. So probably without further ado, let's just hit the big red button. We'll run through a minute and that'll kind of help familiarise ourselves with what exactly is going on. And at first, lots of quiet, which is good. We also know there is a US infantry presence in here, which also we're countering with our own infantry brigades, or squads I should say. I did give a few orders off camera again, just to move forward with some more of our infantry. Again, we're keeping some light machine guns up on this ridge for overwatch, and we've got one of our BTRs in position here as well. Was that you? I think it rather was. I went too far back. Okay, we'll catch it this time. Alright. So after all this, all the forces we spun around here, it was, dagnammit. Honestly, this infantry on this left flank had been the bane of the other bane of my existence. There's been so much of that in this scenario. Okay. Oh. Hello. Alright, 2 things. First of all, I want to just quick check where that small arms fire was. If it was over here, because again I was trying to tighten the noose, now we knew where this dragon position was. And indeed it is. Excellent. Okay, so we've got people in range, so hopefully we can take care of him. Would be nice to do it before we lost BTR. But the more explanation was for what's happening over here. Because as we can see, our hated cavalry boy has popped smoke and run away. So it looks like he may have caught sight of a tank and decided, I'm alright, thanks, and bugged out. That's really interesting. Okay, command phase. So, the question now is, do we want to push up? Might have been this guy, I don't know. And see if we can't get a couple of our tanks into action. I think we're going to have to do that because we are running out of time. So we'll use our infantry on this side of things, who unfortunately seem to have lost sight of the chap they were fighting. Let's continue to hunt forward, please. And I'm going to have you guys to hunt up this hill. You are slightly further away than I expected. And I'm hoping between the two of you, you can silence this chap. I don't really like that order. Problem is, the ridge here means they struggle to get actual lines of sight. So do you know what? Actually, just jog yourselves over to here. I think you're still down the ridge line from him. Where is he? Yeah, I think you're okay going to there. I would then like you to very much face this direction. Just hunt up. In fact, that action square is probably fine. Probably too close, to be honest. There's a good chance you're going to get mullered. These guys, why? Don't lose sight of them. Actually, I'm tempted to just leave them where they are. Could also just do that. Trees in the way probably isn't helping. Okay, no, I will have you hunt forward. A little concerned that they're going to lose the initial firefight, but there we go. Meanwhile, yeah, I think it's time for us to attempt the breakout. So how are we going to do that? Well, first of all, we're going to push this guy up. Potentially all the way forward to here, actually. Where he is somewhat protected from flank attacks. I'm then going to give you a target armor arc of that. You, however, cannot work alone. I'm going to move you probably just to hull down position. So you can target the top of this hill. There's a good chap. And I'm going to get this guy to do the same. Something like that. Good chance he's not going to reappear. So we might be able to... So we might not actually see anything we push out. The other option we do have is actually to get them to open fire preemptively. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Or I could do it with a fourth tank actually, just to fire some rounds out. But no, I don't think I am. And then I would like to try and get over the bridge. Actually, ideally with the BTR. Well, I can move you up. So if that guy has now gone, then this route should be clear. So I'm going to have you swing over this way, and actually I'm going to bring a couple of you. And that's going to be my first vehicles across the bridge. Let's pull you back out. I'll have you come down this way, and I'll maybe grab one more. 3 of you can head over. And then we're going to follow up with tanks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 other tanks in reserve. And then behind the tanks, we're going to send in our, well, eventually our last infantry platoons, but they're probably going to want to advance to the edge of town. So we'll want to secure a passage to the town, and then we can kind of rush these guys in and throw off our infantry at that stage. Okay, good. That's definitely a risk. But hopefully between our various infantry units we can lock that down. I mean, we could theoretically throw some grenades at it, but that's pretty dangerous for the guys out there, so I'll give them a chance. I will give them a chance. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a quick cut in this so I can issue the rest of my vehicle orders, and we'll come back and then we'll see what happens when we pull the trigger. Alright, and we're back. So I just issued some orders to shuffle forward my tanks, and yeah, so they're in position for the next time, but I think it's time to hit this big red button and see what happens. So key importance is keeping that dragon shut down, and then seeing what else, if anything, takes spot shot. Now we know there is one other anti-tank asset there. He doesn't kind of have line of sight on any of this, and we know there's a M113 just hanging out there, but that's not a threat to anyone. Okay, so far quiet. Quiet is okay. Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, got some spots of some infantry. That's our guys taking flak as they cross into these woods. Took a casualty, okay. Recoilless answering with a lot of aggression there, but I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, nice. That was quiet, it's okay. I probably want to leave a couple of guys essentially in this kind of bizarre overwatch position. I'd probably move them up once I've got I'm a bit more comfortable with my security over here. Let's see, yes, what happened over here? As suspected, we took a casualty, and you, my boy, are still up and standing. So we seem to somewhat fluff our lines. You guys have stopped your hunt. Alright. Let's go command phase. I want you guys to keep moving forward. You guys are going to attack. Please don't run away. There might be more than one, but we can only see one of them. We need to take them out. And let's get these BTRs going. So, in order to keep things trucking forward, I want to put another quick cut on. The plan is going to be to issue orders to get these BTRs over the bridge. Potentially bring our 4th tank up in support, and then get ready to kind of push some armor assets into this area. So I'll bring you back when I've done all that. Alright, we are back, we are good to go, and I think we're going to get this touch objective and get something actually across this bridge, something armoured across this bridge. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Oh. That's interesting. Although they're going very slowly across this rougher terrain. We'll have to check back on what happened over here. Our guys ran away. Scary cats that they are at the minute, unfortunately, which is very dangerous. Might have to get some heavy artillery there just to put some suppressive fire. Or some more heavy caliber stuff even. Because he is very explosive. That's right, I moved one tank forward slightly. I was slightly worried about the angle they had here and whether they were actually able to get a shot off. Okay. That's another casualty, small arms. Oh, it's our mortar rounds, that's right. We would dump the rest of the rounds just on the edge of the town, that's okay. He has seen the infantry in that house. Okay, I'm okay with that minute. We didn't get our BTRs across. Which is fine, they've just slowed down. Although it's time-wise, it's not that fine, to be honest. Okay. Yay! After all the pain you have caused me, I'm absolutely going to go watch your demise. Okay, so our guys attacked. Did they yob a grenade? 2 of them yobbed some grenades. And then they ran away scared. Despite the fact they'd essentially done the job at that point. One dead dragon user. Excellent. What I will get, I know we've got a single chap here. I'm going to have you. Let's go command phase. Just move up to this position. We are reporting. Ah, yeah, just this guy. Okay. Just to make sure he doesn't unsurrender himself. One other thing, which is probably worth mentioning, is I'm going to leave a couple of BTRs hanging out here. Just in case this guy does reappear on the hill and we don't get the initial target that I'm hoping for, then I'd rather he picked off one of these first and maybe give our tanks a slightly longer chance to spot. I'm okay with you expending a little bit of energy taking those guys out, because they are hurting our pro infantry troops. BTR is primed to go across the bridge. And maybe you will get to be the first tank to follow up. Okay. It's going well, if a little slowly. I would like things to increase. I'm going to keep these guys where they are. Hopefully that should cease any more incoming fire. So what I'm really going to need to do is get the BTRs to kind of guard the flanks and help sweep through this woods. So obviously supported by infantry, as the armour comes round and takes a better position to deal with everything else that we're aware of, and clear a path up to the edge of town. Although there's only, well, in terms of threats to our armour, obviously there's infantry with dragons. Apart from that, there's these 2 Bradleys and this 1 Patton. But if we, as long as we get our armour going together, that should be okay. You guys are tiring, but I'm just going to have you walk slightly further forward. Okay, I just want to check around here. So we had these guys slowly moving themselves into a better position. I'll get you to hunt the edge here. Just in case you get spot of the Americans of the way. So it looks like we're dropping some artillery here. That's not the worst thing in the world, to be honest. Your recoilless team have backed off. I need to get you back down to the front. Where should we get you to? There, I think. If you wouldn't mind, and then deploy your weapon. Good. We have our tanks coming round. I think we'll leave another minute, clear this traffic jam before I order anyone in, so let's just push forward with that right now. And there we go, we're on the bridge. So we find out if they have any dragons left. I had given him a target command on this lower building, and we've crossed it. Excellent. Excellent, that's really satisfying actually. That's been a surprisingly hard to get to. And we've set up a machine gun in the second story of this building. You guys, oh no, you're panicking again. It's disappointing. It's a good second shot from the tank there. Alright, 2 PTRs across, time to start rolling these tanks across. Let's do it. Alright, tell you what, I'm gonna Yeah, so all I'm doing now is start orders to start flooding vehicles across here. So I'll go do that off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll see how we get on with that. Alright, all vehicle orders in place. So my thought is, while obviously he ran away, he could come back. So I want to get much across this river as I can, because I'm much better placed to deal with him from this side than I am stuck in this little bit. So even if he does come back later and cause us problems, as long as we've got a good number of assets over the bridge, then we're going to be in a good place. Starting with at least one of our lovely jubbly T-62s. And they haven't responded yet. All the further assets we know about are just sitting there. I'm pretty happy with. Oh my, you go over that bridge slowly. That's painful. I've also bringing this BTR forward slightly just to help assist these infantry push through the woods. So if we keep... dangerous. I'll also bring up one of our A assets to sit in here. Hopefully to help with some of this. Because that... it's a couple of our... yeah, I saw the last of our infantry-based anti-tank weapons. So that is a bit of a loss. Especially the recoilless rifles, which had lots of ammo left. You should keep going. You still got a reasonable number of high explosive shells left. Surprised you haven't brought the building down yet. Okay, wait, that will come. Rest of the tanks are just coming. I think I am just going to roll into the next minute. Because we're just waiting on... oh boy, you're a lot quicker than these tanks. Did you overtake them? You did. Okay. That's actually quite useful. We'll get you in position a little bit earlier. Although it may be too late for some of these guys. BTRs are still merrily moving forward. So I think we're just going to roll into another minute. As I perilously watch my time tick away. Perhaps I didn't appreciate quite how long it was going to take for to get units across the bridge. Worrisome air attacks. Let's get my tank out of there. Okay, tank number 2 going over the bridge now. Our A has just stopped. Oh, this is causing problems. Negotiating all our dead allies is causing us great difficulty, unfortunately. Ah, there goes the building. I think we can stop pounding it now. Excellent. Let's go command phase. What do I want? You. Cancel your order. So I will hold these BTRs there, just let these get the last of the tank over. And we'll get some of you guys to come ready in behind. That's the one, I've still got one of the BRDMs. So we will leave probably... no, not you. Ah, you're stopped. Let's get you over the river. And we'll leave you two just sitting here as, well, sitting ducks, I'm afraid. Such is life as a expendable asset. Meanwhile, our infantry's starting to peel up along this road. Good. And then we've got to make some aggressive moves towards the town. Ooh. This I missed. There's something in these woods has caused me a great deal of concertation. I struggle to get eyes on it before it seems to take out large portions of my infantry squads. I'll have to watch that. I have to make sure I'm checking these replays before I skip into command phase. Right, you are now deployed in there. You are deploying. Yes, good. Infantry is in the woods. Let's scoot forward with you. As well as get these guys to cross over. We know there's guys in here, and unfortunately, finding them is usually a painful endeavour. But one we are hopefully, at least, hopefully less painful when supported by vehicles. Ah, you are causing a roadblock. So let's get you out of the way. I hadn't wanted to push too far with this chap until the heavier armoured support had arrived. Because we do know obviously there is a Bradley up there that would have this thing for lunch, even without using its ATGM. Why not push you? Actually, let's push you all the way over, say into here, and then change your facing. And then we'll bring tanks around this corner. We'll have maybe 3 or 4 of them directly face up to town. I've got to watch what the sight lines are for you. I think you'll be fine in there. Okay. And then I probably want to, once I've got kind of one squad of tanks heading up this main avenue, and have a second one heading over in this kind of direction. But really our plan is going to have to be just to punch up to the edge of town, get a foothold, bring in the 2nd Infantry Squad, and push the objective. Now, we do know there's more ATGMs out there somewhere. I think next I'm going to get probably, well, I've got 5 of them here. Yeah, get all these guys over the river. I think actually I'm just going to dive them down here, push them across, and then free up a couple of these guys to go over, and probably keep 2 of them and kind of overwatch on that hill. And I'll push the other 2 round. I think that's the way we're going to do it. Right, just a quick check. These guys haven't lost any more. Nope, still no clear vision over what's actually there. You. I would like you to do some more scouting for me if you can. People have died here. When you just come back this way, come over here and see if you can't get yourself into that position. See what you can see. I must admit, the American spotting has been very good. Very good. Causes me lots of problems. Right, let's have you guys hunt through here. It's not the densest of forests, to be perfectly honest. You guys hunt forward a little bit. Keep you there, and we'll have you guys like leapfrog forward, probably. Yeah, our tanks now free and in the open, so I'm going to swing these guys round to around about here. Have them just take up positions. Yeah, so essentially they're going to have line of sight on this guy should he move. And I'm probably going to get to hold that until we finish moving our units across. Likewise, I said I'll push these 5 units over as well. And as per usual, I will go and do unit moves off camera to try and save a little bit of time so we can push through a couple more minutes. Alright. Orders placed, ready to roll. And despite the aerial attack, our recoilless teams are still both operational. Had taken a casualty, so might be a little bit slower in the rounds per minute, but certainly able to take on targets. That is a good result. We'll see if we can't push forward our armoured push. Interesting. What was that? It's like grenades, perhaps? Let's just watch that back. No! Oh, that's a law. course, the other anti vehicle stuff that they're going to have. But that's okay. They missed, and they probably only have one per squad. And that's yeah, that's a dead dude. So that's good. A good result. We continue to shell the town. Poor inhabitants of the house. Well, that's not the name of the town, but that's our objective. Okay, one more BTR across the river. This is a little more dangerous. We are exposing ourselves to the flank of these guys, so we could see some dragons fly out of this wood line. We've got ourselves in a bit of a mess here. My timings were a bit wrong. I had expected the BTRs to clear it before the tanks got there, and for this tank to clear it before this tank got there, but never mind. They will work it out. Meanwhile, our armoured chaps are in position. There's quite a nice little ridge line here which we're working towards. Should give us a good bit of cover, although, again, there's not much there until you get up to this guy who's just hiding behind a house. So I'm not really sure what his plan is. Let's do a quick check of everyone else before we go any further. No more injuries or incidents. I'd get you shifted forward. I've given these guys just a general move over towards the edge of the wood line here, and try and use them as scouts. They are not in a great condition, so we'll have to see how well they fare at that. Okay, we have one more infantry squad here. Probably wants to support the push to clear this hillock. So let's get you. Or I could just slap you in a BRDM and actually on a BTR and have you support the final push into town, which I think is exactly what I'm going to do. I'd like you to come down to the road as well, and I want you to come down to the road as well. I don't think you guys are in as useful a position as you could be. Okay, next plays. Again, we're going to roll forward these tanks and continue to exert pressure on this town, clear the avenue, sweep forward with this infantry supported by BTR, and then we'll clear out this junction. I don't think there's huge amounts of order issuing required, and I would quite like you guys jump across to there if you can make it. And you guys continue to hunt. I would like you to continue to hunt. Bit dangerous wooded terrain for a vehicle. Let's have you expose yourself and see what happens. Not the greatest way of doing things, but hopefully will work. Okay, yeah, let's quickly, we can just do this live because we're just moving our way up to the ridge line. I'm using a hunt order because I'm not too worried about speed, and if they do see anything, I would like them to stop and engage it. I will give you a quick pause and then ask that you go around the wall rather than through it, just so you don't damage your tracks or anything. Okay, let's push forward with 1 more minute. We might get 1, might get 2 more depending on what happens, and then we'll have to call this episode there. But the Americans have gone very quiet. I feel like we've got past their first line of defence, and then it's just seeing what, if anything else, they've got left to trigger on us. But we've actually done a reasonable amount of damage to their kind of back line with our long range ATGMs and some of our recoilless work. You know, we've damaged a fair few vehicles up here. You engaging? No? Did we lose anything in particular there? Doesn't seem like it. Wow. So I do want to bring an anti-air asset over here because obviously that's where they're concentrating their attacks, and by the reason this chap decided not to fire at that range. So these woods are looking rather clear, which is good. I'm going to decide how I want to deal with that guy because he is annoying. While he doesn't have line of sight, which is good for me right now, he's annoyingly sheltered from my own avenues of attack. Again, we're making good clearance over here. Excellent. and we've got the last of our last of the tanks we're sending across the river. Perfect. Yeah, I think we've got time to push for 1 more minute. So what I'm going to do, plan now will be to get these 2 tanks, and we're going to switch them off in this direction to have a look at this flank, supported by primarily BTRs. So we'll issue some orders for them to kind of group up over there. So we'll have maybe kind of a 5-vehicle team, and again we're just going to keep sweeping through here with our infantry. So I'll issue orders, I'll bring it back, we'll roll for 1 more minute, and then we'll call that good enough. Okay, orders are in place, including getting the final reserve squad infantry over the bridge into their holding zone back here. I did have 1 other tank which I hadn't counted for, actually. Just can't quite see him, just down in here. And I was debating whether I want to split him off with 2 or bring him round to this left hand side. And I've decided I'm going to bring him round to the left, so the group of 4. Because eventually, I think once everyone's across, I'd be tempted to bring these guys round, because I don't need to hold this position anymore. And I can take a more forward stance, and there's a good ridge line here we can use to kind of keep an eye on this hill. It's less of an issue once we get everyone across the river. But anyway. And then we're going to have to go for a fairly aggressive push in the last 20 minutes to get ourselves up into town. So only real issues we've got to deal with, well, there's a couple of them. Infantry at short range, and got armoured threats. And that blasted plane. But we've got a making its way over now. Hopefully, you'll be able to deal with that. And I think we're going to have to essentially be just quite aggressive and accept some casualties and pushing our infantry up to this tree line. And then go for a big push with our armour up to the edge of town. Again, accepting that we may take casualties. Oh, we found someone. Who was that? Poor driver crew here. We did not get eyes on them. Ah, it's because they were shooting at this chap. Not sure. Not sure. Some remnants of a US squad hanging about. But that was a risk I knew when I pushed these guys through, but valuable to get them in as a scout, if nothing else. Okay, so that is where we're going to have to draw this video to close. So, not the most exciting video in terms of action, but a huge step forward in terms of progress for this overall mission. I mean, just look at the red we've now got on this side of the bridge, including a nice couple of armoured formations. So next time really is going to be the big push into town, or probably more likely to the edge of town, getting ourselves that hold, and then allowing our infantry to sweep forward to the centre. Which it is going to be tricky. That's no easy feat to get all the way into there. But we do know a number of enemy positions. The real difficulty will be how much infantry they've got hanging about here, because that's what could definitely slow us down. And given they've got these recon guys, there's probably at least one kind of platoon over here hold up in various places to make our life difficult. Oh, hello. Oh, hello indeed. What absolutely terrible timing. You have turned up just as I'm about to try and make it across with my infantry-laden BTRs. Isn't that a terrifying thought? I just want to check what your target looks like. Although you are... Where are you? Okay, you're all the way back here. So who has line of sight on you then? Ooh, just our scouts here. We're not even scouts, just our infantry there. Okay. That's fine actually, so he has pretty poor vision. Yeah. Alright, that's okay, that's okay. Panic ye not. Anyway, as I said, I will leave it there. And yes, I think next time is going to be a big push forward to see if we can't get into the town itself. And maybe find what other nasty surprises Americans have waiting for us. Anyway, as ever, I do hope you have enjoyed watching us, and I'll catch you all in the next one.